అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. శుభోదయం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. Today is the third day of our classes on Bhagawadgita by Dr. CSR Prabhu garu. Let us start the session with Vande Mataram, paying our respects to our country by Challa Chittibabu garu. Let us request Challa Chittibabu garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayajasitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Suprajosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram. Vande Mataram.
వందే మాతరం. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Sudhir Patarji to chant Prarthana, please.
1 minute meditation. Om Ganana Tva Ganapatigun Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvannuti Sadanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vityavatu. Om Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Nagurov Paramam Shishurasmi Guroho Matirasti Gurau Mam Pahi Guro. Jnananandamayan devam nirmalaspatikakrutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam upasmahe sruti smruti purananam alayam karunalayam namami bhagavat padam shankaram loka shankaram Sankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव, पितृदेवो भव, आचार्यदेवो भव, अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Harihi Om, Gurubhyo Namaha. ధన్యవాదములండి సుధీర్ పటక్ గారు. ధన్యవాదాలు. Now let us start the webinar and let us request our Guruji to start the webinar, please. Unmute చేసుకుంటారా?
ఓం నమో బ్రహ్మాదిభ్యో బ్రహ్మ విద్యా సంప్రదాయకర్తృభ్యో వంశ ఋషిభ్యో మహద్భ్యో నమో గురుభ్యః. Friends, yesterday we have covered the second chapter of Bhagawadgita in depth. So the second chapter propounded Karma Yoga after having a deep knowledge of Sankhya. So it's called Sankhya Yoga. Now, today we'll cover third, fourth chapters, which elaborate the Karma Yoga. What is a lot of doubts were expressed yesterday. What is Karma Yoga? How it can be practiced? How is it possible at all? If at all it is possible, and so on. So today we'll go deep. As I told you, Karma Yoga is a new concept promoted by Lord Krishna himself, though its roots are there in the Ishavasya Upanishad. Srimad Bhagawadgita Tritiyodhyaya Arjuna Uvacha Jyayasi Chet Karmana Ste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Ghore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava Vyamisreneva Vakyena Buddhim Mohayativa Me Tadekam Vada Nischitya Yena Shreyo Aham Apnuyam. So, Krishna, you told about jnana and buddhi. That is, jnana means buddhi, buddhi. So, you said buddhi is superior to karma, and again you are asking me to engage myself in a karma which is atrocious, ghora. And you are confusing me with two different alternatives of karma and jnana. To tell me only one, so that I get the best possible benefit. Only one I want. So the answer being given is Lokasmin Dvividhanistha Pura Prokta Mayanaka Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. There are two paths. One is Jnana Yoga or Sankhya. The word Sankhya is being used in the meaning of Jnana here. And other is Yoga by the yogis. Jnanis and yogis. Na karmana manarambhan naishkarmyam purushosnute na cha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. So, it is not that naishkarmya, that means a state of not doing any karma, can be achieved by not starting any karma. And it's not true that only by sannyasa, by renunciation, by giving up all karma, you can achieve success, siddhi. Na karmana narambhan naishkarmya purushosnute na tu sannyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati nahi kaschit kshanamapi jagatishthati akarmakrit. Any person cannot remain without any action, without any karma, even for 1 second. Karyate javashaha karma sarvaha prakriti jair gunai. So forces of nature will force the person to indulge in action, take up some kind of action. Karmendriyadi samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara sauchyam. A person who tries to stop all the actions of the karmendriyas, but he will be mentally indulging in the very same actions, which are pursuit of desires, indriyardhan, the sensory objects. He'll be imagining or he'll be mentally indulging in that act. Such a person is called mithyachara. He's a cheat. He's a cheater. He cheats. Yes, Indriyani manasa niyamya bhavate Arjuna karmendriya karma yoga vasaktasya visishvate. But a person who is able to control his senses through his mind, I hope you understood the difference. A person who controls his senses, that means I'm not eating ice cream, I'm controlling my tongue, but I'll be imagining that I'm eating ice cream. That is the first case. Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyardhan vimudhatma mithyacharas. Such a person is a fraud. Yes, indriyani manasa niyamya raghute Arjuna karmendriye karma yoga vasaktasya visishya. He who controls all his senses through his mind, and therefore he will not indulge in mental action of the same. Such a person excels, and that is karma yoga. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajjayo hi karmana sharira yatra pichate prasidhyena. You do only those actions which are essential for life. I mean, there is no point in doing all kinds of actions, only those essential for the going on life. At the same time, you cannot stop doing actions. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajjayo hi akarmana sharira yatra pisatena prasidhyena akarmana. It is not possible to carry on with life without doing anything at all whatsoever. And now he is giving a very important secret out. Yajnadhat karmanonyatra lokesmin karma bandhan. Except yajna, yajnadhat, or except for the purpose of yajna, all actions you do will become your bondage. It is a very serious and dangerous situation. Whatever you do will bind you, will cause its impact and effect on you. Except yajna, except for the purpose of yajna. So what is yajna? So we have to understand yajna. Saha yajna praja srishva purovacha prajapatihanena prasavidlamesha ospishtakamadduk. Devan bhavayata nevate deva bhavayantaha parasparam bhavayantah sreyaha paramavapsmetha. So Srishtikarta, that is Chaturmukha Brahma, in the beginning of creation, is Srishti. He has created Praja, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, Sudra, and he has created the Yajnas along with Praja. Saha Yajna Praja Purushva Purvavacha Prajapati. Then he declared, Anena Prasavidhamesha Ostrishtaka Madhuk. May you all get your desires fulfilled through this yajna. Devan bhavayata nevate deva bhavayantaha parasparam bhavayantaha sreyaha paramavapsmitha. You shall perform the yajnas in order to appease or please or satisfy the devas. Devas means the forces of nature. Indra, Mitra, Varuna, Prithvi, and so on. Ishtan bhogan ho deva dasyante yajna bhavita tayirdattan padayebhyo yo bhukte steva eva saha. So the devas will be satisfied with the performance of yajna and they will give you whatever pleasures you need, whatever desires you want to fulfill or whatever desires you may have. Ishtan bhogan ho deva, and the enjoyments, luxuries. Ishtan bhogan ho deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tayirdattan padayebhyo yo bhukte steva eva saha. So the yajna is a process through which you can achieve all desires fulfilled. In the higher level, we have the Putra Kameshti, where a son is desired and is achieved. And we have Ashwamedham, Vajapayam, where an empire is built. Or at the lower end, we have Agnihotram, Vaiswadevam, and in between we have Somayagam. All these are giving results. And these results are given by the forces of nature, who are being propitiated to the Havana Karma. Whatever ahutis are given for those devas. Yajnasishthashinas santo muchyante sarvakil vishai gunte te tvagam papai pachantyatma karana. So those who consume the yajnasishtha, that is whatever is left out after the yajna, that is prasad of yajna, they will be purified from all sins. Now we have to examine this from the modern scientific point of view, which amounts to environmental balance achieved through yajna process. There have been many experiments done. By performing yajnas, you can rejuvenate the water levels. The water levels have gone up underground. Rains have come properly, more rains, and air gets purified, and so on. I also done some experiments which showed that actually in some cases the oxygen level increases rather than decreasing due to combustion. So there is a special technology inside the yajnas. In fact, cloud seeding also is done through yajnas, ground seeding. So as you know, in cloud seeding, silver iodide is thrown into the cumulus clouds in the sky, and that will result in the rain formation, whereas in the ground seeding, the same thing is burnt on the ground and the fumes go into the clouds and cloud seeding happens. Similar effect happens through the yajna process. Some research has been done in these directions. More research can be done. Because so many yajnas, the whole of Vaidika karma is yajna based for various purposes. Now the Srauta yajnas or the yajnas given in the Shruti, the Veda itself, the 11 Adhiryagas, starting from the simplest Agnihotram, which we can practice ourselves, going up to the largest Chayanam, which is for 40 days. And in between, we have many other like Somayagam and Agnishthomam and Atiratram and Aptaryamam and so on. So the Brahmana Jati, I have met some Vedic scholars, Yajis, who have actually performed all these things in their own single lifetime. I have learned Veda from one person who is the elder grandfather of the present Shankaracharya of Srigeri. He performed all the yajnas. I attended one big yajna called Chayanam at Rantavaram near, next to Kollur near Tenali. Annad bhavati bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhava karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahma akshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthritam. So he is explaining the yajna process. All the living beings are born out of food. And food is born out of clouds, rain. And clouds are born out of yajna. Yajnat bhavati parjanyah. Parjanyad anna sambhavah. Parjanyo yajna karma samudbhava. Yajna is born out of karma, and karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Karma is out of Brahma. Brahma aksharam udbhavam. Akshara samudbhavam. Brahma is out of akshara. Nirguna parabrahm. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. So always be engaged in yajna process. So all the Brahmana community was engaged in Brahmana yajna process. It comprises two major parts. One is the chanting of the appropriate Vedic mantras at the appropriate time. The other is doing havan, with the cow ghee being put into the flames at the appropriate time and the appropriate. It's a very elaborate, complex process. There are so many yajnas and so many people are doing them even today. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati yahayakayurindriya ramam patra sajivati. So the Vaidika karma anusthana, karma vidhi, it goes on like this, and this was very common those days, and even now there are people who do these things in a very limited scale. One of the reasons of stopping this is the westernization and urbanization, due to which the pollution levels have gone up very drastically. Yastu atmaratreva syad atmatruptasya manava atmanyeva santushtasya karyam na vidyate. Naiva tasya krutena ardho nakritena eva kaschina ajalsya sarvabhuteshu kaschidabdhavya pashraya. Swami is coming back to Karma Yoga, having explained what is yajna. Now in this present chapter only the Dravya Yajna is explained. In next chapter, other yajnas are also explained, like Jnana Yajna and Yoga Yajna and so on. So now he is talking of the person who has no desires. Yes, to Atmaratreva, like a Sthita Prajna. In the second chapter, we have discussed who is Sthita Prajna. So again, here, a person who is like a Sthita Prajna, Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha, yes, so Atmaratreva Syad Atmatruptasya Manava, Atmanyeva cha Santushtaha. If he is so self-sufficient, he has no work to be done. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Naiva tasya kritena ardho na kritena eva kasyana nachasya sarvabhuteshu kaschidardhavya pashraya. So if he has reached that stage, he has no objective to be yet to be fulfilled anywhere in the whole universe. Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. Asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purusha. So you do all actions because you cannot stop actions anyway. So instead of doing actions with craving, with attachment, you perform actions devoid of attachment, with satisfaction, contentment. Small asaktaha, disinterested. Disinterested means disinterested in the result, not in the action itself. You do your duty, don't worry about the result. That is the whole idea. Because the result will automatically come if it is totally dependent on your action. If you perform the action correctly. So you perform action perfectly, samachara. Perfectly you have to perform, so that the result will come. But in case the result is dependent on other factors, other outside you or beyond you, the result may or may not come, for which you are not responsible, and therefore you need not be obsessed or attached to it. Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. Samachara. Summarily you perform. Do completely, perfectly. Asakto yacharan karma paramapnoti. Why should you do like this? Asaktaha, because only then you'll be escaping from the bondage, the repercussions of the bonding of that karma. To do like, I can give you two examples. One is, when small children are playing cricket or any other game, then some adult like me can go and play with them. So when he plays with them, he has no asakti, he has no attachment. You just play for fun. Whereas for the children, it may be not like that. They take it seriously. If they lose the game, they'll cry. But an adult will not cry. This is maturity level. Second example is many service activities like car seva in gurudwaras or any lecture series like this. There is no attachment. There is no obsession. You just do it for the sake of doing it. But you have to do it. You cannot stop, and you have to do it perfectly, because there's no point in doing half-cooked or bad quality jobs. So do job perfectly, maximum perfection, but don't get attached to its result. You have to be attached to the action, but not to its result. Karmanaya hi samsiddhima sthita janakadaya. Because the other alternative is to give up karma, to be a recluse in a cave. It's very difficult to manage that. But while doing all actions, like Janaka and others, they have performed all actions, but they have performed only for Loka Sangraha. Loka Sangraha mevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi. You are qualified, or you shall perform all actions only for Loka Sangraha, for the benefit or the advantage or the purpose of social good, larger good, universal good. So, Rotary Club, they have 4-way test. Is this true? Is it going to be beneficial? Is it going to build good, better relations? Is it going to help for welfare? For welfare, Loka Kalyana, whatever you do, you should do only for Loka Sangraha or Loka Kalyana. You should make sure that it will not be opposite. If you do certain things which are sectarian or which are violent or which are giving a wrong message, then you should stop them. You should do whatever for the larger good of the society as a whole. Why? Because yadyad acharati sreshtaha tattadeva itaro janaha sa yat pramanam gurte lokastad anuvartate. Whatever the best person does, one leader, who is the best person? Leader. Whatever a leader does, the rest of the world follows him. If you think you are a leader, you have to perform perfectly only those actions which are meant for the society's benefit, and you should perform it to the perfect quality but without attachment to the result. Dame pardhasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Oh Partha, I don't have any kartavyam. That means duty, obligation, obligatory duty in all the 3 words. Nanavaptamavaptavyam vartayeva cha karmani. But I shall still perform all actions. Yadi hyaham varte navarteyam jatu karmanya atandritaha mamavatmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Suppose I fail to do any action or anything that is good for the society, anything which is correct. If I fail to do and simply sit in samadhi or go into a cave in a forest and be there always, then what will happen? If I am the leader, he was the leader, right? He was the king. He was the leader and ideal person. Even Rama was ideal and Krishna was ideal. So such a person, if he sets an example that he will give up everything and go into the forest and sit in a cave without doing anything, then Mamavatman Vartante, Manushya, all other human beings also may want to do the same thing. In which case, all the cities will be abandoned and the forest will become populated. Utside yurime loka karyam karma chidera sankarasya jakartasyam upasamhimma praja. So if I set wrong examples, I shall be taking the bad name or responsibility of the society going down. Sakta karmanya vidvamso yadha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvan tadha sakta chikirshur loka sangraham. Now there are 2 categories of people, sakta and vidvamsa, asakta. So sakta means those who are attached. Those who are attached also will be doing the same actions. Those who are not attached also will be doing the same actions. So both on surface cannot be distinguished. Both look similar. Sakta karmanya vidvamso yadha kurvanti bharata. So kuryad vidvan praja tadha saktaha asaktaha chikirshu lokasangraham. So only for lokasangraha, the vidvamsa or the vidwan or the knowledgeable jnani will also perform on the face of it, he will perform similar to an ajnani, but he has jnana and he is not attached. Ajnani is like children and adult playing together. Children are attached. The adult is not attached. So play this life as a sport. Perfectly though. You have to play the game as per the rules. Na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam. You shall not create confusion. Buddhi bhedam among the innocent or ignorant people. Like if the ma'am says, "Arey, what is there in the cricket? How does it matter you play or don't play, or how does it matter if you break the rules?" If you talk like that, then they will get confused and there will be a conflict. Toshayet sarvakarmani vidwan yukta samacharan. Therefore, a vidwan, a knowledgeable man, a mature person, shall perform all actions perfectly as if he is also like an ajnani, but inside he is a jnani, he is mature and he is detached. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankar vimodhatma kartaham manyate. In fact, only a fool who is deluded with ego will think I am doing everything. It is not really so, because you are driven by the forces of nature to do things. Tattvavitu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartante iti matva nasajjate. Whereas the tattvavit, a jnani, will know that why things are happening because of the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. Guna guneshu vartanta. Gunas act in gunas. Iti matva na sajjate. Prakrite guna sammudha sajjante gunakarmasu. Tan akritsnavido mandan kritsnavidna vichalayet. Only fools will think, will get obsessed or involved or identifying themselves with the actions without realizing that Prakriti will force you, will force itself to get things, like birth and death and sunrise, sunset, and everything is happened by laws of nature, laws of science, gravitation, and so on. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyat adhyatma chetasa nirashi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. So now coming back to Arjuna's condition of yuddha, war. She says, you fight your war, but give up the attachment to the result by renouncing all actions towards me. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. With a spiritual chetas. Chetas means mind or thinking. Adhyatma chetasa. Nirashi, without any desires. Nirmama, without any attachments. Utva yudhyasva vegatajvaraha. Yeme matamidam nityamanutishthanti manavaha sraddhavanto anasuyanto muchyante tehapi karma bhihi. So this philosophy which I told you, O Arjuna, whosoever, that means people like us, follows this philosophy, they shall be liberated. How? Because they shall not be bound by the karma. What is liberation? Freedom from the effects of karma. Ye tvedad abhyasuyanto nanatishtanti me matam sarvajnana vimodham stvam vidhi nashtana chetasaha. But those who object to it, those who oppose this, those who contradict this, they are foolish, they are ignorant of entire jnana, and they are nashtha, they will be finished. Sadrusham cheshtate swasya prakrite jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kinkarishyati. So whatever you do, you are doing under the force of nature. And prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kinkarishyati. What kind of control you can have when things happen? When my mother died, I tried my level best to save her from death, but I could not. So there are not many things which you can control in this world. Nature drives everything. Whatever happens, Right now, whatever is happening has a cause and effect chain behind it. Right now, if I'm speaking this and you are listening to it, there is a huge chain of cause and effect behind this. That could include in my childhood training in Bhagavad-Gita onwards, up to your training or your aptitude in the Bhagavad-Gita and the aptitude of the organization. So many factors are involved. So there is a big, huge linking of cause and effect relationship. And finally, it is nature, the will of God, Ishwarecha we call it. Shivurajnalai Chimena Kutalu. Ishwar ka anugya vina patta bhi nahi hilta. Nothing will happen without God's will. Indriyasya dheraga dvesho vyavasthito tayonnavashamagachanto anyaparam. So the raga dveshas and the indulging in the indriyarthas, desires, enjoyments, are the root cause of all the problems. Don't get, they themselves become the enemies. Don't get entangled with them. Sreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharma vyavasthita swadharme nidhanam sreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Is also a very famous quote. It is better to perform your own dharma, swadharma perfectly and die if required in it, rather than trying to stop or abandon your own swadharma and try to adopt somebody else's swadharma. Sreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Vigunahan, though without any good qualities, your swadharma, if it means Kshatriya dharma of fighting a war, or any other swadharma, though it is viguna, it is not having any good qualities, it is better. Paradharma swanisht, instead of adopting others' dharmas. Swadharme nidhanam sreyaha. It is better to get depth in your own dharma because you will be known for that. You did your dharma and you died in that process. He fought and he died. That will be known, not only in the case of Kshatriya dharma, but any other dharma. Suppose I am a teacher. If I go on teaching and die when I am teaching, that will be known, that will be recorded. Rather than I do something else, odd work and totally unrelated to my swadharma. Swadharme nidhanam sreyaha, paradharmo bhayavaha. So paradharma means doing somebody else's dharma, because that person will not keep quiet and he will say that you have encroached into his domain and next you will not be able to do that so good. You may not know that so well. So it is always to realize, recognize your swadharma, become adept in it and perform it perfectly and even die in it while performing. Arjuna vacha atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha vinanichhinna vivarshneya baladiva niyojitaha. What causes sinful actions, bad deeds? Why people are doing bad things, even though they won't like to do? We have seen a lot of people who say and do things which they would possibly not like to say and do in general, in normal conditions. But they end up saying and doing such things. Why? The reason is, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. The Kama and Krodha, desire or lust or craving. Kama means all the three. Desire, lust, craving. Krodha is anger. Mahashano, Mahapapma, Mahashana. Ashana means food. They are highly consumptive. They will consume you completely. Mahapapma, they are very sinful. Vidhena miha vairinam, realize they are your enemies. Dhumena vriyate vahni yadha adarsho malena cha. Yadho albena avruto garbhas tadha tene ramas. Avrutam jnaname tena jnanino nitya vairina. Kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. These kama and krodha, they are so bad. They cover up, they engulf, and they are covering up the jnana, which is inside you, which is your true nature. Avrutam jnanametena. And they are always the enemies of jnanis. Dhumena vrete vasniryathadarsho malayanacha. Like smoke covering up the fire and dirt covering up a mirror, soiled mirror. Yatha alvenavrito garbhaha, and the fetus being covered by the alvena, that is the cover in which inside which the baby is there. Similarly, this jnana is covered up by this kama and krodha. Indriyani manobuddhiyastasya adhishthanam uchyate. Etay vimohatyesha jnanamavrchadehinam. Where are these things? They are in the mind, they are in the senses, and they are in the buddhi also. And they will always delude you. I don't have to tell you because you all must have experienced. The moment you finish this class, they will start working on you. So many things will happen. Tasmat tvam indriyanyado niyamya bharatarshabha. Papmanam pradhihyesham jnana vijnana nasanam. So, O Bharatarshabha, Rishabha is ox. O ox among the Bharatas, it means very strong, resolute. You control your senses and mind and buddhi, and don't get carried away by these sinning emotions. I gave a lecture on beware of negative emotions. It is there in YouTube. Not only Kama Krodha, there are totally 10 negative emotions. And Ahankara is the beginning. Ahankara, Mamakara, Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsam. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhya param manaha. Manasastum parabuddheyo buddhe paradastu saha. So in the hierarchy, the senses are at the lowest level, gross level. And above the senses is the mind. And above the mind is buddhi, intellect. And above the intellect also is the Supreme Self. Evam buddhe param buddha samstabhyatmanam atmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam virat. Durasadam. So, O Mahabahu, O strong man, you therefore realize that which is beyond buddhi. Buddhe param buddha. You realize the truth beyond buddhi. Sanyasyatmanam atmana. Samstabhyatmanam atmana. Having controlled yourself by yourself. Jahishatru mahabaho kamarupam durasana. Control and conquer these enemies. Kama rupam, because kama results in krodha when it is not fulfilled. In fact, I have 10 negative emotions identified in my lectures. Many times I told ahankara is the first, and ego, when it becomes extreme, it becomes durahankara, and even normally it will result in mamakara, attachment, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha. If kama is not fulfilled, it will become krodha. If it is fulfilled, then it will become lobha. You want more. And craving or craze, moha, and then pride, mada, and finally matsarya, jealousy. Like Duryodhana had everything, but he had jealousy as the main problem, the root cause of the Mahabharata war. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagawadgita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Karma Yoga Nama Tritiyo Dhyaya. Now we go to the 4th chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad Bhagavad-gita Chaturdhodhyaya Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Prahu Manurikshvakave Bravit Evam Parampara Praptamimam Rajarshayo Viduho Sakale Neha Mahata Yogo Nashtha Parantapa. So this yoga I taught first to Vivaswan, that is sun, Surya. and Vivaswan taught to Manu, and Manu taught to Ikshwaku, and Ikshwaku dynasty, Surya Vamsha, they acquired one after the other. Parampara Praptam, Imam Rajarsha Yoga, all the Rajarshis, even Rama is in the Ikshwaku Vamsha. And Sakali Neha Mahata Yoga Nashta. And as time progressed, this great yoga, which great yoga? The Karma Yoga. Yes, because all these Rajarshis, they performed Karma Yoga. They performed their duty perfectly. As the kings and emperors of the whole globe was being ruled from Ayodhya by the Suryavamsha emperors. This is mentioned in the Upanishads. So as time progressed, because this is Dwapara Yuga, that was, Rama was in Treta Yuga, and before him, his ancestors were even older. Saevayam maya tejap yoga prokta puratma. Same yoga I am teaching you today. The ancient one, Puratana. What is the difference between Puratana and Sanatana? Sanatana is Puratana as well as Adunatana, as well as Bhavishya. Sanatana means it is eternal, it is always there. Puratana means only ancient. It doesn't mean present or future. Puratana Adya Yoga Saeva Ayam Maya Proktaha. Same ancient yoga is taught to you by me today. Because you are my bhakta. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yetad uttamam. I taught you the secret karma yoga. Then immediately Arjuna had a doubt. Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katham etad vijaniyam tu ama tvamam dau proktavaniti. How can you say you have taught to Surya, Vivaswan, who is much before you? You are later to him, you are right now here with me. Then Krishna answered, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, many janmas I have gone through. You have also gone. Tanyaham Veda Sarvani. I know, I remember all of them, but you don't remember, you don't know them. Ajopi san avyaya atma. Bhutanam Ishvaropi san. Even though I am unborn, even though I am in the indestructible self, Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam Ishvaropi san. Even though I am the Ishvara of all beings, Prakritim swamadhisthaya, being the boss and master of the nature, Prakriti, Sambhavamya Atma Mayaya. I am still creating myself by my own Maya. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I create myself through my own Maya, Atma Mayaya. I create myself as an avatara, that is, for what purpose? To protect the sadhus and to destroy the bad characters. Dushkrutam, vinashaya cha dushkrutam, paritranaya sadhunam, dharmas samsthapanarthaya, for re-establishing, for establishment of dharma. I am born again and again, yuge yuge, in each yuga. Janma karma cha me dukkham, janma karma cha me divyam. Sorry. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti panda. So Arjuna, A person who realizes, who understands the reason, the nature, and the purpose, and the content of my birth in each of these avatars, with its philosophical dimension, tattvataha, such a person, that means he who studies my avatars and understands Janma, karma, and my actions, may divyam, the divine ones, evam yo vetti tattvataha, tyaktva deham punarjanmana. After leaving this body, he will not be born again. The great reward. In fact, the entire Bhagavata Purana is explaining the various avatars with the same purpose. Vita raga bhaya krodha manmana mam upasthita bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhava magada. Many pure souls who have performed jnana tapasya, bahavaha jnana tapasa puta, they have reached me, madbhava magataha, who have surrendered to me, mam upasritaha, manmayaha, those who have always have them in me in their minds. Vidaraga bhaya krodha, those who have given up their raga and bhaya and krodha. These are the three main problems: attachment, fear, and anger. Those who have given up the attachment, fear, and anger, and those whose minds are absorbed in me, manmanabhav, madbhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru, mame vaishyajitvayatmanam matparayana, yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyastya matpara, ananyena yogena mam jayanta upaste, teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagara, bhavami na chirat partha mai aveshita chetasa. Manmana bhava, the mind should be completely obsessed, covered, possessed by me. Those whose minds are completely possessed by me. Manmaya mamupasritaha. They are dependent on me, surrendered me, prapatti, bhakti and prapatti, parabhakti. Bahavaha, many of such jnana tapasa. Those who have performed tapasya, acquired jnana, and those who have performed tapasya along with jnana, they have reached me. Ye hamam prapadyante tam statheva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya pardha sarvashah. In whichever way, ye yathamam prapadyante, whichever way they have done prapatti, surrender to me. Bhakti and prapatti, they are two different things, but they are related. First bhakti, then prapatti. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam statheva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya pardha sarvashah. So in whatever form they propitiate me, I will respond in the same way. All people in the world are my own followers. This can be interpreted in many ways. It can be interpreted in terms of multiple devata upasanas. All finally, Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pratigachati Akashat Patitam Toyam Yatha Gachati Sagaram. Like all water which came out of the sky in various rivers finally goes into the same ocean. In the same way, Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pratigachati Kankshantah Karmanam Siddhim Yajanta Iha Devataha Kshipram Him Manushe Loke Siddhir Bhavati Karmaja. So those who have desires, specific desires, Kankshantah Karmanam Siddhim Yajanta Iha Devataha, they perform yajanam, the puja or yajna for the Iha Devatas, the worldly Devatas. Means multiple. In Hinduism, we have multiple devatas, but all devatas finally merge into only one. That is the point he is trying to make. All devatas are windows into one supreme being. This point is not understood by the monotheistic religious scholars. They think Hindus are worshipping so many devatas, polytheism. So I told them very clearly, these are not different. They are all windows to the same one single God or Parabrahman or Om. When I told this, they are very happy, some of them who met me, and they have partnered to join hands with us. But those who don't understand this, they will still think Hindus are performing polytheistic worship. So there are three main problems: polytheistic worship, personality worship, and idol worship. I told them all the three are not true in Hinduism. They appear to be there to outsiders, but they are not there. Finally, it is only one Paramatma. This is explained and emphasized in this sloka. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham mama vatmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashaha kankshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Siddhi, success will come out of action. So those who perform upasana of a particular devata, in fact, it's a fact that particular devatas are meant for particular purposes. Like Saraswati is meant for education, knowledge. And of course, Dakshinamurti is meant for higher, supreme knowledge. Similarly, Lakshmi is meant for wealth and desire satisfaction. So people who perform upasana of those devatas to fulfill their requirements to achieve success in their own life. And all of them finally belong to Keshava. They are all windows to the same ultimate Paramatma, Parabrahman, Omkaram, Narayana, Vishnu. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtham guna karma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram abhimam vidya kartaram avyayam. I created the four varnas based upon guna and karma. The three guna, sattva, rajas, tama, and karma. Visarga karma sanyitaha. So there is a big theory here in this commentary where the ratio proportion of the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna is explained for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, Sudra, Varnas, and the proportions changing of these three gunas, and also the Anuloma, Viloma. Anuloma are accepted in the Manusmriti also. That means the male from a higher caste and female from a lower caste, the child born is accepted, like all the castes like Kayasthas, like Mathur, Srivastava, Amitabh Bachchan is also a Srivastava. And even Mitra in Bengal, even Vivekananda was a caste. There the Anuloma, valid official intercaste outcomes. But Viloma is not accepted. During the time of Manusmriti, around 10,000 years ago, the Vilomas were boycotted and they are known as Chandalas. So they are the some of the parts of the scheduled caste. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha. Though I performed this Chaturvarnya, I have no involvement. Tasya akartaram vikasya kartaram api akartaram api. Because I am doing actions without attachment. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha iti mam yo bhijanati karma bhirna sabadhyate. He who realizes that I am not affected, he will not be bound by the karmas. Evam jnatva gatam karma purvairapi mumukshuvhi. Even previous mumukshus, that means those who wanted moksha, they performed all their karma in this manner by knowing this. Kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvai purvataram krutam. You also do the same thing. Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopyat pramohitaha. Tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. What is karma? What is akarma? What is vikarma? This is confusing even to kavis, that means highly knowledgeable scholars. Kim karma kimagarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami. I am now teaching you, asking you to do that karma, knowing which you will be liberated, freed from ashubha. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanah. Akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. You understand what is karma, what is akarma, what is vikarma. It is complex. Karmanya karmaya pashet. He who says akarma in karma, akarmani cha karmayaha, and he who sees akarma in karma and karma in akarma. Sa buddhiman manusheshu, he is intelligent person. Sayuktaha kritsna karma krit. What does it mean? While doing everything, not doing anything. While not doing anything, doing everything. This is already explained. Karmendriyani samyamyayaste manasasmaran indriyartha vimudhatma mithyachara saucha. A person who doesn't do anything simply sits idle, but he is mentally aspiring or even indulging in the enjoyments which he is missing physically. He is a fraud. So that is karma in akarma. And akarma in karma, detached karma is akarma, not doing it. Even though you are doing something, you are not doing that. Like even though you are playing cricket with your children, grandchildren, you are not playing because you have no obsession. You are nothing to gain or lose. You are not a stakeholder. You are just doing it for fun. That is realizing akarma in karma. And similarly, the service activities, social service, loka sangraha, you are doing without any involvement or attachment or obsession to the result. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita jnana agnidagdhu karmana tamahu panditam buddha. He who performs all actions perfectly without any desires, he is burning all karma with his jnana. Jnana agni dagdhu karma. All his karma is burnt away by jnana. Finally, what we want? We want the burning of karma. Because your life is due to karma, your death is due to karma, your next life is due to karma. Next life is a definite thing. So I knew one old person who used to say, I'm just seeing what kind of next life I will get. I'm trying to get some reasonable next life. And another quotation is Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh was asked to give an apology to be exempt from death sentence. So he gave a retort. He gave a rebuttal saying that, why should I give an apology to the British government against whom I am fighting? Because if I die, I will be born again in the free India, free country. I don't want to continue to live in this slavery of a slave country right now. If I die, I will be born again in the free country. He was so sure of India's independence. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagdhu karmana tamahu panditam buddha. He who has all thoughts without all desires, and he who has burnt all his karmas through jnana, the fire of jnana, he is the pandita, he is the real knower, jnani. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya trupto nirashrayah karmanya vipravritto api naiva kinchit karoti saha. A person who is in the state of karma yoga, tyaktva karma phala sangam, he has given up the attachment to the result of the karma, but he is indulging in karma perfectly, as perfectly, or if not better, than those who are indulging in karma without jnana. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nityatruptaha. He is always satisfied. He is not going to be affected with positive or negative outcomes of his karma, which he has performed perfectly as a duty, as swadharma. Karmanya vipravritto api. Even though he is fully involved, abhipravrittaha, fully engaged, maximally involved in the karmas, he is not doing anything. Karmanya akarmaya pashet. Not doing. Naiva kinchit karoti saha. Nirashir yatachittatma. He has no desires. He has controlled his mind. Tyaktva sarva parigrahaha. He has given up all attachments. Shariram kevalam karma. Purvanapnoti kilvisham. He performs all karmas only as a physical shariram kevalam karma, without attachment, involvement. Yadvichara santushto, he who has reached contentment and satisfaction with things as they come. Dvandvatitaha vimatsaraha is beyond the dualities. Sukha dukkha lava raga dvesha and mana apamana and so on. Samasiddhava siddhau cha sthita prajna state. Equanimous to success and failure, because you have done your duty. If the success has not come, if the failure has come, it is not your fault. It is somebody else's cause. Gata sangasya muktasya, a person who is liberated by not having any attachment. Jnanavasthita chetasaha, who is established in jnana always, and whose performance of all karma is for the yajna purpose. Yajnaya charataha karma samagram praviliyate. So for such a person, this entire karma, not only the present karma, the total karma will be annihilated. Praviliyate. Brahmarpanam brahmavihi brahmagno brahmanahutam. Dravya yajna, all steps involved are also brahma karma. Brahmarpanam brahmavihi brahmagno brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina daivame vapare yajnam yogina paryupasate brahmagna vapare yajnam yajne naivopajuhvati. This is yajna interpretation. Now there are other yajnas, apare yajna. What are those? Srotradin indriyan yajne samyam agnishu jukvati. There is a fire called control, self-control, and he has burnt, he has made the havan of his ears, eyes, and other indriyas, desires. Shabdadin vishayanyanya indriyagnishu jukvati. And all the distractions, stimulus of senses is controlling through the senses themselves. In that fire, he burnt away. Sarvani indriya karmani prana karmani chapare atma samyama yoga agno jukvati jnana deepite. He has an atma samyama yoga agni in which he is burning all the actions of all senses and all actions of the living, that is metabolism. Atma Samyama Yoga Gno. There is a fire called Atma Samyama Yoga, which is explained in 6th chapter. So all the Indriya karmas, Prana karmas, and other karmas, Juhvadi, they are all burnt away. In the Jnana Deepiti, the Jnana fire. Dravya Yajnaha, we know about Dravya Yajna, we have discussed. Tapo Yajnaha, Yoga Yajnaha. Yoga Abhyasa is also yajna. Tadhapare, some others are indulging in all these different types of yajnas. It is the first time that the concept of yajna is extended beyond Dravya Yajna. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnascha. Swadhyaya Yajna, Jnana Yajna. What we are doing is that only. Yatayaha Samshitavrataha. Yati means those who have controlled. Yata. Niyata Chitta Yati. They are doing all these types of yajnas, and he has dedicated a whole shloka to pranayama. That shows the importance of pranayama. Other yajnas, he has dedicated only one part of the shloka. Apane jukvati pranam, prane apanam tatha pare, prana pana gati rudhva, pranayama parayana. Whatever I achieved in my life is due to the pranayama which I have learned from Swami Shilananda. That is being explained here. He will burn, he will do the ahuti of apana in prana and prana in apana. Pane jukvati pranam, prane panam dadhavare, prana pana gati rudhva, stopping the prana pana gati. Pranayama parayana, apare niyatahara. Those who perform pranayama perform this yajna of doing havana of apana in prana and prana in apana by stopping the normal process of prana, inhalation, exhalation, through various techniques of pranayama. Our Guruji Dikshitlu used to quote this sloka in all his yoga classes. Apane jukvati pranam prane panam tatha pare pranapana gati rudva pranayama parayana. Apare niyatahara pranan praneshu jukvati. There are others who, other than the yoga practitioners, who are fasting. Niyatahara pranan praneshu jukvati. They burn the pranas in prana themselves. This is a symbolic way of, allegorical way of explaining the metabolism of what is happening in fasting, what is happening in pranayama. Sarvepyete yajna vido. All these people know what is yajna. Yajna with. Who are those people? The pranayama practitioners, yoga practitioners, fasting people, and those who are teaching and learning, swadhyaya, jnana yajna, and tapo yajna, those who are performing tapas, yoga yajna, apart from dravya yajna practitioners. Yajna sishthas amrita bhujo yanti brahma sanatanam. After performing this yajna, whatever is left out, those who consume that and survive on that, they shall reach Brahman. What does this mean? What is this prasadam and consuming? I am teaching this class. I am not taking any prasadam or giving any, but the meaning here is the result of such a yajna will be liberating, will be enlightening, will take you to Brahman level. All the yajnas. Yajna sishtha amrita bhujo. Yajna sishtha. Whatever is left out or the result, the consequence of such a yajna is amrita. By consuming that, you will achieve Brahma sanatanam nayam lokos ayajnasya kutonya kuru sattama. What can be better than this yajna process? All these yajnas. He was the first one who extended the concept of yajna beyond dravya yajna to various types of yajnas. Evam bahuvidha yajna vitata brahmano mukhe. Various types of yajnas. Karmajan vidhitan vidhi sarvan evam jnatva vimokshase. All these are yajnas by knowing which you will be liberated. Shreyan dravyamayad yajna jnana yajnam parantapa. So, in fact, jnana yajna, which we are doing now, is superior to dravya yajna. Other yajna, Shreyan dravyamayad yajna jnana yajna parantapa. Sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Why? Because all karma will finally sublimate in jnana only. Because the karma purpose is to purify, to be qualified, to be fit to receive jnana. Same thing in yoga, abhyasa, sadhana, tapasya also. All the yajnas which are mentioned, they are purificatory. They will result in the next outcome, which is jnana, realization. So the jnana yajna is superior to dravya yajna. Shreyan dravyamaya yajna jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Tadvidhi, acquire that jnana, pariprasnena, sevaya, tadvidhi, pranipatena, by prostrating to the guru who is teaching you that jnana, and by asking questions, sevaya, by serving such gurus. Upadekshanti te jnanam, jnaninaha, who will teach you that jnana? Jnanis will teach you, who are tattvadarshis, who are able to see the tattva. Yajñātvāna punarmoham yasyati pandava. Having acquired which jnana, you will not be deluded once again. You have been deluded all your life. Yena bhutanyaseshena drakshasya atmani atho mayi. Having acquired which knowledge, you will see all beings in the self, in me and in you, oneself. Apichedasi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamaha. Sarvam jnana praveneva vrijinam santarishyati. Even the greatest sinners, The greatest sinner, sinner than all other sinners. Papebhya, sarvebhya papakut tamaha. The greatest, worst sinners. Sarvam, the whole sin will be eliminated. Sarvam jnana plaveneva vrujinam santarishyati. He will cross over all the karma. The sinful karma as well, he will cross over if he acquires that jnana. Like in the case of Valmiki, he became highly enlightened jnani rishi. So all the sins he committed previously are burnt away. Yatheva hamsi samidhognitram bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Just like a fire, in the fire, the samidhas, which are put in the twigs, which are put into the various medicinal plant twigs, they are burnt away into ashes. So the jnanagni, the fire of jnana, will burn away all your sins, all your karma. Karma means sin is also included in the karma. Punya karma, papa karma. Accordingly, you will get the birth and they'll all be burnt away. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramiha vidya. There is nothing as pure as jnana. That swayam yoga samsiddha kalena. How do you get that? He has told previously, pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam. But then that is only sravanam. Sravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. Finally, the realization has to come. The Brahmakara Vritti and identification yourself with the Brahman, with the universe, with everything. Brahmatmana samsthitihi, sarvatmatva mahavibhutihi. So that will come inside you by time. Kalena atmani vindati. That swayam yoga samsiddha. A yoga samsiddha, that means a person who practices yoga and reaches success, total success, samsiddhi. Kalena, by time, atmani vindati, he will get it within himself or herself. And so, to reach that final stage, the entire Jnana Yoga is also there, Jnana Yajna is there, and Raja Yoga is there, Hatha Yoga is there, Bhakti Yoga is there. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. First of all, you should have Shraddha. Tatpara samyatendriyaha. You should be always be desperate about it. Tatpara means he's desperate for jnana. Samyatendriyaha, having controlled his senses. Jnanam labdha param shanti. Having acquired that jnana, you will acquire total peace. Param shanti achirena adhigacchati. Very soon you will acquire total peace. Ajnascha asradhadhanacha samshayatma vinashyati. Nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmana. But a doubting Thomas, if he goes on doubting this whole thing, there is no purpose served. Now he will not get any results. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam atmavantam na karmani nibadhanti dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, the karmas will not bind a person who has destroyed his doubts through jnana and who has abandoned sanyasta, all his karmas through yoga. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hrutstham jnanasinatmanaha chitvainam samshayam. Therefore, O Arjuna, you destroy your doubt which you are having right now through the jnana sword. And you adopt yoga. Atishtha, uttishta. Get up. Come on. Act. O Arjuna. Iti Srimad Bhagawadgita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Yogo Nama Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama Chaturdho Dhyaya. Om Tats.
ధన్యవాదాలు ప్రభు గారు. Any questions? Yeah, Sriyar garu.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, one question.
Slightly louder, please.
Whether any individual by his janma or by karma, he will be taken the varna. He will be treated that varna is Brahmin or like that. Or if it is in the inner meaning of that sloka chaturvarnam maya srishtam, no? If it is by karma, he is treated as Brahmin or some other four castes. Karma means okay. During this life, if it is a karma, he will be treated means in the general life, even in the Dwapara Yugam and or in the other yugas also, they are not treated like that. Even Karna also, from the beginning, he was called as a Sota like that. But if it is a Purva Janma karma, if somebody has born or taken the birth of the Brahmin or Vaishya or Sudra like that, there is one contradiction, sir. I feel I did not understand this one because in the 14th chapter, Urdhvam gachanti sattvasta madhye tishtanti rajasaha. That sloka is there, sir. Jaganya guna urtista adho gachanti tamasaha. In that, all sattva people will go to Urdhalokas. And Rajo people will come to the like Manushya, that is Madhyastha. Tamasa people will go to Adholokas. So Sattva people, those who in the Purva Janma Phalam, they will not take the birth of the, because they have gone upper lokas. So our Rajo people only, they will be as Manushyas. How it comes to Brahmin then?
No, I think you are confusing yourself unnecessarily by bringing up unrelated things. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa adho gachanti tamasa is not referring to the castes. So you leave it aside, okay? Now coming to the question, basic question, whether it is by birth or whether it is by
Karma.
Both are true. Because karma is karma mana puttu jantu, karma mana jantu. Karma is resulting in your birth. If you have performed a particular type of karma, and you have acquired that karma as the balance when you die, that will result in your next birth, accordingly. Correct? Yes or no? That is logical. If you have done positive, it will result will be positive. If you have done negative, result will be negative. So even though in this life you are born as a Brahmana, but you have performed all bad things, let us say, then there is no guarantee you will be born as Brahmana in the next birth. And contrary, you may not even be born as a human being.
Human being, correct.
Depending on the intensity of your bad karma. So, when the fact that you are born in a particular circumstance, leave aside caste. Take the particular circumstance. That means the parents, the family, the lineage. Why you are born in that particular thing? Why you're not in neighbor's house? That question is always open. So that is why what they say is due to karma you are born. See, like we go to the maternity hospital, all children are born. They have not performed any karma in this life.
Yeah, Purva Janma.
But they are born in different circumstances. So that means Purva Janma karma will result in the present life, birth. That you have to accept. Correct?
Correct.
So now Purva Janma karma, who has done what, who knows? Because it's not only one Janma, many Janmas are. So the cumulative effect, sigma, that nobody knows what exactly is your sigma. Accumulated karma and what is my accumulated karma. It's not only this life, the other lives also.
Yeah, correct.
So it is a very complex situation. So both are true in the sense your karma will decide, your janma also will decide to a certain extent, not 100%. Like as in the case of Karna, his janma is not in Sutakula.
Yeah,
please remember.
Not, but they treated him as a.
No, they assumed because
assumed.
they only know that much. So that is a social phenomenon. You keep that aside. Don't mix up here. So now the point is that the person who is born, like we have many examples, like this fellow Ajamila who was born as a Brahmin, and then he will go into prostitutes, how he will stay with prostitute, all those things he will do.
Correct.
So you go on deteriorating, falling down. Whereas now, as you can see today, in the modern days, those who are born in the Shudra Kula, even all the Reddis, the Kammas, all these are Shudras. But they have reached very high levels. In fact, if you go to Rayalaseema, you will find yogis and swamis and sadhus in Reddy community.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
There
And,
also one contradiction is Sreyan Swadharma Viganaf you are telling, no?
no,
There
that is
also
for
problem
the
will come. No?
no. That is for the normal work, not for spirituality. If a person has become a saint through the merit of tapasya, even though born in Sudra Kula, in fact, most of the Veerashaiva, saints, they are not Brahmanas, but they have become saints. It's not a joke to become a saint. It is not a karma concept. It is the reaching that level. There are people who have performed tapasya whole life in a cave. They may be Sudras by birth, but they have gone way beyond. You see, when I went to Manali, those who went to Manali, you will go and visit one Hidimba temple there. There's a temple where Hidimba is worshipped as Devi. Hidimba is a Rakshasa Stree. So when I asked them, they told she was born as Rakshasi, no doubt, but she became divine. So that transition was there. That even in the Kaushika story, Dharma Vyadha Kaushika, you know that story. So, though you may be born, you may be doing, Dharma Vyadha was doing his butchery work only. Swadharma, he was involved in Swadharma. But he was spiritually advanced. He was highly enlightened.
Valmiki like.
No, Valmiki is a different case. Valmiki became a rishi. He stopped his dacoity and hunting and all. But this fellow didn't stop also. He was doing butchery as a profession. So it is not the same as Valmiki. It's a different case. He continued his profession. And yet he was superior to Kausika, who was a Brahmana and doing tapasya.
Okay.
So similarly, in the Vaishnava tradition, we have many Nayanar, temples, they have this alvars. So many of the alvars, they are not Brahmanas. Do you know this?
Correct. Yeah.
So that way, it is a different thing. Spiritual development is a different thing. Profession is a different thing. So adharma refers to professionally, not spiritual development.
Oh.
And then another issue here is this guna karma. That means the visarga karma. Visarga means visarga, 2 dots. So this person is interpreting that as ratio of sattva-guna, rajoguna, tamoguna.
Oh, mixture.
In the 4 castes.
Okay.
So Brahmana is sattva-guna pradhana, but he also has rajoguna and tamoguna. And Sudra is having tamoguna pradhana, but he also has sattva-guna. A lot of people you can see today, though they are Sudras by birth, that they are Reddis or Kammas or any other Sudra caste. They have grown in their spiritual level also, not only the saints in Rayalaseema, but even in the society. I know many of my close friends or even disciples who have learned Vedas, Vedangas and Arya Samaj, and they have done yoga, like Ramdev. Ramdev is a Shudra, but he has done so much of yoga, Anusthana, and he has learned so much in the way that he is equivalent to a Brahmana, if not better. So that is the kind of evolution that can happen in this life also. There is nothing wrong in the case of the Mahabharata also. Vidura was like that. Vidura was a Shudra, born to a Shudra woman, but he was considered superior to many others because of his knowledge. I think we have discussed enough this question. Let us go to other questions.
Okay, we'll have Prarthana and then take up the question. That's 8 o'clock. Babu garu.
Okay, let us complete our Prarthana and Janganamana. After that, we'll continue. Now, let us request Sudhir Pataji to chant Swasti Mantra.
स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेण मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ ॐ सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
Wonderful. Wonderfully chanted.
ధన్యవాదములండి సుధీర్ జీ.
धन्यवाद
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నౌ లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ నేషనల్ యాంథమ్.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद जय हिंद.
ధన్యవాదములండి చాలా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.
Okay, we continue with the questions. Amar Singh.
Shubhodayam Guruji. Good
Yeah.
evening. Sir, in the second adhyay, Sitpagya, like yesterday I have it, they got, like in the Bhagawadgita it is said, there are two routes. One is Sitpagya, one is Karma Yoga. Right? एक कर्म योग के द्वारा आप मोक्ष पा सकते हैं और एक है कि सितपज्ञ मतलब कि मुनि के जैसा रहना. So
आपका
like
प्रश्न
we
क्या है?
are into, प्रश्न ये है कि कर्म योग तो समझ नहीं आता है कि कर्म जो करेंगे, जैसे आपने बताया कि अगर आप कुछ नहीं भी करें तो आपका मन में कुछ सोच रहे हैं वो कर्म कर रहा है. या मुनि मुनि कैसा कर्म कर रहा सर? लाइक देयर आर टू रूट्स, वन इज कर्म योग, वन इज मुनि का योग. तो मुनि हाउ इज एबल टू कंट्रोल द कर्मास? बिना
मुनि मतलब यदि वो स्थित प्रज्ञ बन गया तो वो तो मोक्ष स्थिति में है, वो ज्ञानी है. तो मुनि का मतलब वो ऑलरेडी वो हाई लेवल पे हो गया, स्थित प्रज्ञ हो गया ना. तो स्थित प्रज्ञ का मतलब वो तो ज्ञानी आदमी है, तो वो मुक्त है, ऑलरेडी मुक्त है. उसका कोई कर्म करे ना करे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सो भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को ये बता रहे कि आप स्थित प्रज्ञ बनो और वो बन के आप युद्ध करो कर्मयोग से. तो मुनि मतलब अंदर से मुनि है, मतलब वो भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को मुनि बनो बोल रहे, स्थित प्रज्ञ बनो अंदर से, लेकिन बाहर कर्मयोग के रूप में युद्ध करो ऐसा बोल रहे. लेकिन ऐसे भी मुनिया हैं जो कोई युद्ध नहीं करते, जब हम भी युद्ध कोई युद्ध नहीं करते है ना. आप युद्ध करते क्या?
नहीं सर, नहीं.
हाँ, तो जो मिलिट्री में है वो तो युद्ध करते हैं, पुलिस में है वो भी युद्ध करते हैं. तो हमको तो कोई जरूरत ही नहीं युद्ध करने का, हम तो बहुत भाग्यवान हैं, वो युद्ध करने का जरूरत ही नहीं. और कुछ लोग अपने प्रोफेशन में युद्ध करते हैं, झगड़ा करते हैं, जाके लड़ते हैं, इस तरह का काम करते हैं. और कुछ लोग पैसे कमाने के लिए युद्ध करते हैं. जैसा कोई मार्केट में बेच रहा है तो वो युद्ध ही करेगा अपने कॉम्पिटिटर से. तो हमें ये सब करने का जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि हमारा स्थिति अलग है, अपना अपना स्थिति के अनुसार वो कर्म निश्चित होता है. सबको सब कर्म करने का जरूरत नहीं। समझ गया?
हाँ सर, फिर भी एक क्वेश्चन रह जाता है कि बिना कर्म करे सिर्फ के बन भी गए तो फिर कर्म की गति कहाँ होगी, कर्म का फल क्या
नहीं,
होगा?
ऐसा है कि ये टोटल 100% जीरो तो नहीं होते। जब ना केवल निर्विकल्प समाधि में, ये भी समाधि में रह गए तो कोई कर्म का नहीं कर रहे हैं, श्वास भी नहीं होता। तो समाधि के बाहर आ गए तो बहुत बड़े मुनि भी जब समाधि के बाहर आए तो कुछ ना कुछ करेंगे, मतलब बात करेंगे, बोध करेंगे, या शिष्यों का गाइडेंस करेंगे, या यज्ञ करेंगे। आपको मालूम है सारे जितने भी मुनिया हैं, जितने भी साधु महाराज है, वो सब यज्ञ करते, धुनी, जो धुनी वाले बोलते हैं।
ठीक।
तो वो तो करते हैं और वो सिखाते हैं। हमारे गुरु परंपरा में जो बड़े धुनी वाले, उनके नाम ही धुनी वाला था, वो बहुत बड़े योगी थे, वो अपने शिष्यों को सिखाए थे। तो ऐसे भी मतलब, और जो ब्राह्मण कर्म जो करते हैं, जैसे पंडित है, मेरे फ्रेंड एक आदमी है वो जो वो यही काम करता है, वेद सिखाता है, उपनिषद सिखाता है। मैं भी वही करता हूँ आजकल। तो ऐसा भी कर्म होता है, और अपने अपने कर्म स्वधर्म जो है, अपने अपने पूर्व कर्म के हिसाब से वो स्वधर्म बन जाता है। जैसा किसी का जरूरी होता है कि वो युद्ध करे, किसी का जरूरी होता है कि वो भाषण दे या प्रवचन दे, या किसी का जरूरी होता है कि हवन करे। तो जैसा जैसा उनका जो प्रारब्ध कर्म है, उसी उसी हिसाब से उनको अभी का कर्म मिल जाता। तो मेरा भाग यह है कि मैं तो सरकार में था, 30 साल था लगभग, उसमें किसी से लड़ने का जरूरत नहीं था। आखिरी में मैं लड़ना पड़ा दिल्ली में, केवल दिल्ली में लड़ना होता है, दिल्ली के बाहर लड़ने का जरूरत नहीं होता है। और जो पैसा मिलता है वो झगड़ा करके कमाने का नहीं होता है, अपने आप आ जाता है। तो स्कॉलरशिप जैसा गवर्नमेंट जॉब ऐसी है, और मेरा पेंशन भी अब स्कॉलरशिप जैसा है, अपने आप आ जाता है। तो अपने अपने कर्मानुसार उसका जो कौन सा काम करना, वो निश्चित ऑटोमेटिक।
सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन ये है कि अगर शरीर से भी कोई कर्म ना हो और मन से भी जो कर्म ना हो, मतलब मन भी ना सोचे और शरीर भी कुछ ना करे, तो उसको हम समाधि बोल सकते हैं ना?
समाधि, आप समाधि में रहेंगे तो शरीर से भी नहीं होगा, मन से भी नहीं
हाँ।
होगा। लेकिन
करेक्ट।
समाधि में परमानेंट कोई नहीं रह सकता, बाहर ही आना पड़ता है। तो आप हमारे योगाभ्यास में ओंकार मानते करते हैं आप, कुछ क्षण के लिए आपके मन समाधि में जा सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद फिर नॉर्मल में आ सकते हैं, आना पड़ता है ग्रेजुअल। तो नॉर्मल में आ जाएंगे तो कहे लोक संग्रहार्थ है, जो कुछ भी आप करते हैं दुनिया के भलाई के लिए करो, अपने स्वार्थ के, निहित स्वार्थ के लिए न मत करो। ये कर्मयोग का रहस्य है कि निहित स्वार्थ के लिए बिना करें, जो समाज सेवा के लिए करते हैं, लोक उत्थान के लिए करते हैं, लोक संग्रह के लिए करते हैं, लोक सेवा के लिए, लोक कल्याण के लिए करते हैं, वो ये है।
ठीक है,
तो ये
धन्यवाद।
असल में ये जो सिद्धांत है, ये बड़े बड़े उद्योगपति भी अब अपना सकते हैं, जैसे जापान में करते हैं। मैंने सुना कि जापान में आप किसी बड़े बड़े कंपनियां हैं, सोनी है, मित्सुबिशी है, ऐसे लोग, ऐसे कंपनी में जाके आप उनके जो सीईओ होता है उनसे भी आप यदि आप बात करेंगे तो ऐसा महसूस होता है कि कोई अ, लोक सेवा संघ से बात कर रहे हैं। उनका इतना ऊंचा सोच होता है कि हमने समाज को क्या योगदान किया है। तो कोई भी बिजनेस, कोई भी इंडस्ट्री आल्सो कैन बी अंडरस्टूड एज सोशल सर्विस। तो हमने ये करा, वो करा, हमने पूरे इतने पेड़ लगा दिए, इतने गरीब लोगों को, मतलब इतने हॉस्पिटल खोल दिए, इतने विद्यालय यूनिवर्सिटी खोल दिए। बिरला भी यही काम करता है, यूनिवर्सिटी खोलते हैं, मंदिर खोलते हैं। तो ये सब लोग, इनफैक्ट हमारे सनातन धर्म में जो अग्रवाल वैश्य जाति के हैं, उनका ये धर्म है कि 70% वो वापस देते, 70% का उनका जो प्रॉफिट होता है वो वापस देना पड़ता है। उसमें 20% राजा को कर देना पड़ता, टैक्स देना पड़ता है, और बाकी 50% जो है समाज को सेवार्थ देना पड़ता है। वो जरूरी था, जैसा कि उनको कोई आ, मंदिर बनाना है, या कोई रुग्णालय हॉस्पिटल बनाना है या कोई वापी तटा कूप बावड़ी इस तरह का बनाना है, ये करते रहते हैं। मतलब आप देखे होंगे कई सेठ, इनका नाम से ये है, बिरला है, क्या है, बिरला तो अग्रवाल है, वैश्य है, वो बिरला के मंदिर हैं, बिरला के इंस्टीट्यूट हैं, बिरला के हॉस्पिटल है, बिरला सब कुछ है, टाटा का भी है। तो उद्योगपति का ही धर्म का लक्षण है। और क्षत्रिय का तो वो तो जान खुद दे देता है समाज के लिए, उसमें उसको उस वक्त में खुला आह्वान मिलता है। और ब्राह्मण का कर्तव्य है कि लोगों को ज्ञान देने का, पठनम पाठनम, ब्राह्मण का कर्तव्य मनुस्मृति में सीधा 3 चीजों में दिया गया है। पठनम पाठनम, आप लर्निंग एंड टीचिंग, सब सब्जेक्ट, सारे सब्जेक्ट, वेद भी और दूसरे सब्जेक्ट, ये ब्राह्मण का कर्म है। और यजनम याजनम, यज्ञ करना और दूसरों से करवाना। और तीसरा दान देना और दान लेना। बाकी लोग दान नहीं ले सकते, यदि दान लिया तो वो कर्ज हो जाएगा। केवल ब्राह्मण दान ले सकता है, दे भी सकता है और ले भी सकता है, क्योंकि वो अपने संध्या से, गायत्री के चरण से, मैं आपको बोल रहा था एक बार, वो जितना भी वो पाप लगेगा किसी से कुछ लेना, वो खत्म कर सकता है अपने ब्राह्मण कर्म से। वो पाप जो कुछ भी आप उसको बाहर से आ रहा है उसको खत्म कर सकता है संध्या गायत्री उपासना से। दूसरे लोग नहीं करेंगे तो वो कर्ज हो जाए। तो इसलिए दूसरों को दान लेने का हक नहीं है। मतलब आप दीन अवस्था में तो कोई भी दान देगा, वो अलग बात है, लेकिन यदि आप किसी से पैसे लेंगे तो वो दान नहीं हो सकता, कर्ज होगा। यदि ब्राह्मण को दान दे सकते हैं, ऐसा आप दूसरों को नहीं दे सकते, एक्सेप्ट compassionate grounds। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट
ठीक
क्वेश्चन।
है जी, धन्यवाद।
There are no more questions.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Bhagavat.
Okay. So I stop recording now.